All right. Well, welcome everyone to Building Confidence in the Kitchen, Diasporican in Sacramento. My name is Katie Ball, and I'm the Special Projects Associate at the Sacramento Public Library. We're so excited to have you here, and we'll get to Ileana soon. But first, I have some things I'd like to share. So today's program is funded through an award from the Network of the National Library of Medicine, a partner of the All of Us Research Program. What is the All of Us Research Program? It's a large research program from the National Institutes of Health. The goal is to help researchers understand more about why people get sick or stay healthy. We hope that more than 1 million people will join in the All of Us research program. People who join will share information about their health, habits, and what it's like where they live. By looking for patterns in this information, researchers may learn more about what affects people's health. The All of Us research program will last for 10 years or more. This will allow researchers to study health over time. If you decide to join the All of Us research program, you will be contributing to an effort to improve the health of generations to come. You may also learn a little bit about your own health. To learn more about the All of Us research program, visit joinallofus.org/SPL. And one of the great services of the National Library of Medicine, or NLM, that I'd like to share with you is called Medline Plus. Medline Plus is an online health information resource for patients and their families and friends. Medline Plus offers information on health topics, human genetics, medical tests, medications, dietary supplements, and healthy recipes. Medline Plus is available entirely in English and Spanish, including navigation and menus. Other languages are available for select health topics linked from the health topics pages. And there's so many reasons to love Medline Plus. There's lots of great resources all on one website. There's no ads or endorsements. The sources are cited and it's printer friendly. And I personally use Medline Plus to look up information for myself and family members, and it's very helpful and easy to understand, so I encourage you to check it out. So anyone in the Sacramento area who participates in these virtual sessions can receive a complimentary copy of Diasporican, and I do still have some available. So if you haven't requested one yet, please feel free to email me, and you see my email there on the screen. It's kball@saclibrary.org with the library location nearest to you, and I will get one sent out for you. And please note that if you already have a copy of this cookbook, it is yours to keep and it does not need to be returned to the library. And mark your calendars for March 13th. That is 1 week from today. Ileana Masonette will be our featured speaker at the Enters the Chat program at the Central Library, so we hope to see you there. And if you'd like to learn more about Ileana and see what she's up to, you can visit her website and follow her on Instagram at EatGordaEat. And now for some housekeeping. So all participant microphones and video have been disabled. If you have any questions, please submit them using the Q&A button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. Ileana will be addressing questions throughout the program, and we'll do our best to get to all of them. And if you need closed captioning at any point during the program, just click the live transcript button that you'll find at the bottom of your screen. You'll click that button, wait just a moment, and then you'll see the closed captioning pop up and you can follow along. And if you're having any audio related issues, please exit and re-enter. And we do ask for your grace and understanding in this virtual world that we are in. If there is a delay, one of the hosts drops off, or we experience any other type of interruption, please allow time for us to pick up and resume the program. And finally, I wanted to share some follow-up. So this program is being recorded and will be shared to our YouTube channel within the week. And also keep an eye out for an email from me. It will have a link to the recording and a participation survey. Please share your thoughts and feedback with us. We always appreciate hearing from you. So let's get to cooking. I wanted to make sure to share with you, if you do have the cookbook in front of you, you're going to be on page 114 for the Spam Guisada dish. So without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to Ileana. So Ileana, take it away, and everyone, please enjoy.
Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, if you were here last month, it's already been a month. If you were here for the last two classes, then you know that we already made the sofrito ahead of time. It just cuts a lot of time in half. Sofrito is definitely something that you absolutely need. The good news is that if you do not have it right now, it's not too late to shove everything in the blender and make it really quick. It does not take that long. But I'm gonna start. We are making spam guisada today. It's a relatively quick dish to make. So what I'm gonna do is start with my rice. I haven't made it yet. Usually I already have that going. But I think I'm gonna try to, because this is the last virtual class, I'm gonna try to maybe slow it down a little bit as best as I can. So let's start with the rice. I haven't even turned my heat on yet. So turn your heat on now. If you have already made your rice, I'm sorry, but that's okay. I'm gonna wash my rice. So for me, I'm just gonna use jasmine rice. I always use jasmine rice. I prefer to use jasmine rice, and this happens to be a local company called True Origin Foods. That's by Michael Bosworth here in like in the Woodland area. So I'm not gonna do the ratio 2 to 1. I'm gonna follow the instructions on the back because every variety of rice is different. Not every a variety of rice is 2 to 1. So this one says a half a cup of rice and 3/4 cup of water. So I'm gonna do 1 cup of rice. I'm gonna wash my rice. If you're a person that does not wash your rice, that's fine. I do. And some people have actually been worried about washing the rice because they like to use it for like Spanish rice or Mexican rice, where you have to toast the rice first. But even if you wash the rice, you can set it aside for like a couple of minutes and it will dry. So don't let not washing your rice be an excuse unless you just don't want to wash your rice. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in the pot because I'm gonna toast my grains first. In goes the rice. I'm gonna make sure that every grain of rice is coated in that oil. This is the way that I do it. This is not like a traditional Puerto Rican way, but this is the way that I find helps me to add some extra flavor to my white rice. And also it helps me to create a pegao, which is that crunchy part of the rice, the burnt rice at the bottom. Okay. And I'm gonna add my water. Get all of those greens, don't leave any behind. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, just a pinch. This is why a lot of Puerto Rican white rice has a lot of flavor because we give it flavor. We don't just, put it in the pot with just water and let it boil like so many suggestions, so many times that were suggested. So I'm gonna let that come to a boil and then I'm gonna cover it. A lot of Puerto Ricans ask me why, like sometimes I'll use jasmine rice from my arroz from gandules too, which of course sends Puerto Ricans into like utter shock. Uh, that's what I prefer. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not traditional, but I also don't find that it really impedes on the final flavor either. I feel like you can't really tell by the time you have the sofrito and the my cat's going crazy. The sofrito, the tomato sauce. I really feel like you can't tell that I'm using jasmine rice. You know, of course, what's traditional in Puerto Rico is medium grain rice, which is weird because the medium grain rice over there kind of looks like short grain rice, looks like the bomba rice that you would use for paella, you know? That's what it kind of reminds me of, but I digress. So I'm gonna let this come to a boil. In the meantime, I'm gonna get my sofrito out of the freezer because I didn't do that yet. So okay. Yay. Well, I'm waiting for that to boil. I'm gonna start cutting up my onions. Hopefully you guys can see this. You guys see this?
Yep, we can see it. It looks good.
Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna cut this onion. Now, if you don't have like an onion, the good news is you don't really need it. I'm just kind of doing it to fortify the flavors because everything that you need is already in a sofrito, which kind of like defeats the purpose. But sometimes I'm just in the mood to add some extra onion. I don't know. I can't answer the question away. I just do. So if you don't have onion, don't even sweat it because you already have onion in the sofrito. Hey, Chihuahua. Oh yeah, okay. Wish I had another little bit light for just do a small little dice and my tiny little onion. This is for the guisada, so you don't really have to focus on, you know, making it look nice and pretty. Okay, so my rice is a going. I'm gonna give it another little zhuzh. I'm gonna cover it. Move it over. I'm gonna drop it down to low. Grab another pot. We're gonna bring this up to temp. So a lot of the things, a lot of questions people have with stainless steel, which this is a lot of. I'm coming to the understanding that a lot of people are afraid to cook in stainless steel and are they will fight tooth and nail and go to the grave for their nonstick pans. Look, I understand that some of you like nonstick because you don't have to use as much fat in your cooking. However, stainless steel is really not that complicated. It just needs a little love and attention. You need to heat this up first, which it already is. I'm gonna add a little oil, just a little. I'm gonna add my onions. See, already gone. I'm gonna turn the heat down to, well, my stove is a push button stove. See, this is how I control the heat. It's an old stove, so I can't say which, you know, numbers or temperatures. I'm gonna guess this is like a medium high. And because I heated my pan, I let the pan heat first, then I added the oil. You don't heat the oil, you heat the pan when it comes to stainless steel. And because I let the onions kind of hang out, you know, as much as they could, that's why nothing is sticking. They're like ripping and all ready to go. Okay, my rice has been in there for like, somebody remind me when it's been 20 minutes, okay? You guys are in charge 20 minutes. All right, they've gotten nice and brown. I'm gonna set them aside. I'm gonna add just a little bit of more oil. And here comes our Spam. So I got the little can because it's just me and my husband. I don't want to waste like a big can. I don't really eat Spam like that anymore. I'm only saying that just in case my doctor is watching. I'm gonna take the Spam out of the tiny can. I'm probably not even gonna use all of this. I'm going to just cut it in relatively thick cubes. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice. I like it. Let me check see if my oil's still hot. Tis. Okay, I'm gonna add the Spam to the oil. I like getting a little bit of sear on my Spam. I find that I prefer the texture much more when it gets a little sear on the outside. Sometimes when I don't sear it, it kind of has that, it retains a kind of spongy texture, that I don't really enjoy. So I find that this kind of helps a lot, give it a more firmer texture. While that's going, I'm gonna cut my potato. I'm not going to um peel my potato. If you want to peel your potato, that's perfectly fine. I just don't want to do it. And I like the skin anyway. I think that's why I don't really bother. Like it doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna cut this potato in uniform pieces because I like to have some of them melt into the sauce. It helps to thicken the sauce to the texture that I like it. It gives more like of a biscuit sauce. When my mom makes this, she likes hers more on the soupy side, which I do not like it that way. So that's why I'm cutting mine in non-uniform pieces. Let me check the next fan real quick. You see it's getting nice and brown and toasty? That's how I want it. Is anyone cooking with me? Which is fine if you're not, if you're just here to watch. Welcome. But I do want to know if there are people that are cooking with me tonight. I'm just cutting up the rest of this potato.
You've got four, at least four, who are cooking along with you.
Yay! You see how it's got nice and crispy and brown? That's gonna help that texture. Look, look, look. Oh, look it, I lost a few guys. And that's it. Hey, okay, on the set. Actually, I don't need to put that aside. I'm just gonna go ahead and add my potatoes and my onions. If you are using fresh garlic in the recipe, because I'm not, but if you were, then you would want to them, add the garlic with the onions, but it's not too late to add it now. I'm gonna give this a little mix. I want all the fat and juices from the onions and the spam and touch the potatoes. Touch the potatoes. I'm gonna give this a little bit of seasoning. Not too much, obviously, because the spam is very, 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 very salty. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of black pepper. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of my adobo, which is salt-free. So you can go a little crazy with this. This is the double blend, the salt-free double blend that I have with burlap and barrel. It is, you find the link on my website. It has adobo seasoning changes from family to family, because everybody has their own preferences. But most of the time it has turmeric, cumin, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Okay, I'm gonna let that hang out a little bit.
And you have a couple of questions, Ileana. So one person asked, could you use a firm fish like tuna in place of the spam?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The beauty about this dish is that it uses our the what I like to call the Puerto Rican mother sauce, which is the tomato sauce sofrito, and then your like some type of acid normally. I'm not going to use acid in this particular one, because it has a lot going on. But you would pretty much use the olives or the capers and like almost everything else. So there already is um a fish dish that you use this sauce, use tomato sauce sofrito, and then chunky onions, chunky peppers, and they lay fillets of mahi mahi in it, which is like like a firmer textured fish. I feel like you could also use tofu. Okay, I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of water. Just a touch. I'm gonna bring the temperature back up, that's for sure. And I'm gonna put some tomato sauce in it. I'm gonna give it a mix and see what it looks like. See, like, I think this potato's too chunky. I'm gonna cut them in half. I'm not even gonna bring it to the cutting board. I'm just gonna do it right here. Right here, right now. That backfired really fast, actually. That backfired way too fast. Like, totally splattered all over me right when I said I'm not taking it to the cutting board. You, sir, are too chunky. I don't like you. Now, let's say you wanted like big, juicy pieces of potato in here. That'd be fine. The only reason why I'm cutting it on the smaller side tonight because it cooks faster. You know what I mean? But even if I was making, cutting them to be big and chunky, I still wouldn't make them uniform because I'm going to use, some of the smaller pieces when they break down to make the sauce nice and thick. So I'm going to add sofrito. I freeze my sofrito, which is why it looks like this little cube, ice cube. Boop. I may use two. I really don't know. I'm going to see what it looks like and tastes like. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of sazon. This is also my sazon with burlap and barrel that's salt free. I'm not gonna put too much. I'm not gonna go crazy with it. If you're using Goya sazon, that's perfectly fine. Just you want to be careful with the salt because Goya has a lot of MSG in it, which is fine. MSG is delicious, but what I'm saying is you don't want it to get too salty. I'm gonna bury this little guy really quick. If you omit garlic cloves, are you adding garlic powder? I'm omitting garlic cloves tonight because I'm lazy. That's it. But like I mentioned, it's the same thing like I mentioned with the onions. I'm gonna put a little bit more tomato sauce. I'm gonna put a little bit more water. It's the same thing like I mentioned with the onions. You're mostly just fortifying the flavor because you already have onions and garlic, as I'm assuming, I would hope that when you make your sofrito, I'm gonna put another cube of sofrito in there. 1 cube of sofrito comes out to be about a tablespoon. So I'm putting 2 tablespoons. I would hope that you are putting as much garlic as you like. You know what I mean? So sometimes when I'm making a big batch of sofrito, I will only put in 5 garlic cloves. But sometimes, during like garlic season, when I'm getting it and I have an abundance of it, I'll use like 12 to 16 cloves of garlic. You're using, 1 bunch of cilantro, 1 bunch of recao, if you can get it, a large onion, a couple of tomatoes, a big bell pepper or a couple of bell peppers or peppers. So, that mixture, when you're making a big batch, can handle a dozen cloves of garlic, if you like garlic. So that's why it doesn't matter if I'm omitting the garlic tonight, the garlic is already in the sofrito. And there's already garlic powder in the adobo. All right, I'm gonna let this dude hang out. I'm gonna check my rice. Does anybody know if it's been 20 minutes or not?
I started a timer, Ileana, so you've got about 4.5 minutes left.
Thank you. I'm gonna add, while I'm here, I'm gonna add my green beans. Now I'm using just frozen green beans, which is why I'm putting them in now because I like them more on the softer side, I'm putting them straight from the bag directly into the pot. How many? I don't know. Until I'm like, that looks good. I'm gonna bury these. I feel like by the time the potatoes are nice and tender, these will be like where I want them. If you are using, like during green bean season, When they're in season and I see them at the farmer's market and I grab a whole bunch, then obviously I would throw these in about the same time. I would throw the fresh green beans in at the same time that I threw in the potatoes because they take a little longer to cook the way that I like them, which is soft. But if you like them on the crunchier side, then obviously, don't cook them for that one. If you are like my grandma who used canned green beans, which is fine, I would wait. I would hold off until the potatoes are soft, everything's ready to go, and then I would dump them in and just let them warm through because they're already cooked, to their last words basically. Glad for the tofu suggestion. Watching, thinking about what to substitute to make it vegetarian. Awesome. I am gonna check my rice. I'm gonna give it a little fluffy poo. I'm gonna give it a taste. Cut off the heat. Cover it up. Let it hang out. How's everyone doing? Is anyone behind? Is everyone on the same step as me? Does anyone have any questions? Let me know. Let me know. Does anybody want me to slow down? Get in there. Booyah! I got this pan at the thrift store. So this lid is I already had it. I literally just right now was thinking, I wonder if this will fit. And it totally fit. Yay! Okay. Behind but catching up. Okay, Ruth, what step are you on? A little behind. Jane and Ruth, what steps are you on? Let me know. Adding in the sofrito. Okay. I'm gonna um I'm gonna hang back, adding the sofrito as well. Okay, I'm gonna hang back. I'm gonna start cleaning a little bit just so I can hang back with Ruth and Jane, which I need to clean anyway. So thank you guys for letting me do that. I'm gonna check the texture of my potatoes. Hey, Jane and Ruth, would you mind telling me the texture of your potatoes, if you don't mind? Potatoes are done. Awesome. Softer, but not yet forte. Our potatoes are still a little too soft. Okay, great. So if you wanted to add, let's say you're making like a big batch of this or something like that, potatoes are ready. Yay! You can also add like yellow wax beans or some type of leafy greens. You know what I mean? Like I I probably wouldn't add broccoli. I like broccoli, but this is kind of like a I don't know, like a long stew type of dish. You know what I mean? Okay. Now I'm gonna mash up some of the potatoes. I'm gonna mash it up. I'm gonna add it back. This is gonna get me this type of thickness that I like. You don't need to do too many. See, let me kick the heat down a little bit. See how like viscous the sauce is? You can see all the little flecks of the sofrito in there, like the cilantro and stuff like that. I love that color. I don't cook this dish as much, that much anymore. This is definitely one of my grandma's go-tos. She would also add sometimes canned corn to it, you know? So sometimes in the summer, when the corn is fresh, I'll like scrape a couple of kernels off the cob. Did everyone make rice? Did you make rice? And if you did, is it done? So if your potatoes are twosome and ready to go, you should definitely be putting in or have already put in your green beans. They shouldn't take that long. Yes, rice is done. Awesome. Awesome. Yep, we just finished and the rice is delicious. Yep, so rice is pretty awesome. Okay, so let me know if you guys are ready for me to plate because I want to show you. I mean, it's not like it's rocket science, you know what I mean? But I do want to show you how the sauce coats the rice and why I prefer it the way that I make it. Yahtzee. I might cut my green beans. I just decided at the last minute to cut my green beans in half. Gonna use a pair of kitchen scissors. That's good. Just added in. Oh, carrot added canned corn! Yay! Me gusta, me gusta. I love it. It makes my little heart happy. Okay, so I'm gonna plate because I'm also gonna eat. So let's see. Okay, my rice is nice and fluffy. There it goes. I just love the smell of jasmine rice too. Yep. Get out of here. Watch this. Look. You see how nice and thick that is? So good. Switch over. There we go. If you're someone that likes a lot of sauce, like my mom, which is why she makes it more on the soupy side, I'm gonna get some more green beans. Um, you can literally just do this right now. Watch. I just added more water. That's it. It's not that complicated. Because there's so much seasoning in there with the adobo and the sazon and the sofrito. It's not going to lose a lot of its pungency, you know what I mean? And also, you could probably, if you don't want to use water, if you want extra flavor, you could probably use like vegetable stock, unsalted vegetable stock, or chicken stock. Okay, I am going to taste this right now because I can't wait any longer. Get a little bit of green bean, get over there. A little bit of the spam, a little bit of the potato. I lost the potato. Mhm. What you can also do, I like to keep in the freezer just for like, I would try to keep frozen vegetables on hand in the freezer. Like just for like kind of shortcuts, quick cooking, things like that. There's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with having frozen vegetables in the freezer. I also keep like you know the mixed vegetables, one that has like the corn and the carrots and the green beans and stuff. I also keep that in the freezer too, and I would add that to here in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. Hot, delicious. I'm gonna um I'm gonna plate another one so I can keep it right here so you guys can see because I know somebody requested that last time. That actually made a lot of sense. This here, the stove. Don't look at the stove. Don't look at the will be our display plate. That's some rice. Some of this. Right there. There you go. Did you add the rice to cook in the pot? No. I would say absolutely not. If you want to add rice to this dish and like cook it all together, um, I guess you could like make it like kind of like a what's it called? Like arroz con salchicha, but it would have to be like a much drier application. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise the rice is gonna get mushy, and then you're gonna get like a asopao, which is like a soupy rice. If that makes any sense. So then you would like sear your spam, onion your spam. If you want to add the potatoes, and then add enough water and tomato soup. I mean tomato sauce, so that would equal the equal ratio to the rice that you're using, and then add rice. So okay, so when I said absolutely not, I'm totally wrong on that. Don't listen to 5 seconds ago, Ileana. It would work, but it would just be there'd be a slightly different approach to how we just made this. You know what I mean? I feel like it could happen. If you try it out, let me know and send me photos because I want to see. Mm. Christina says, "Thank you. We're sitting down to eat. This is an amazing dish. Cannot wait to try more of your recipes. Thank you so much." Okay. If you have any more questions, now is definitely the time. Thank you for that question about adding it all together to make like the same dish and a totally different dish at the same time. That's actually pretty good. My chat wasn't working. Thank you for visiting. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kate. Thank you so much. What's your favorite recipe from Diaspora Weekend? I would definitely say the pollo guisado, which is what we made in the first class. It's the one that I cook the most often. I find that it's the most comforting to me. Like I don't think I could ever. I don't want to jinx it. I don't think I could ever get tired of that dish though. Every time I eat it, I feel like I'm eating it for the first time. I feel like you could definitely make this with firm tofu. I find like firm tofu and spam kind of have similar textures. So I don't think would you season differently with tofu? No, absolutely not. This time I'm saying absolutely not, and I mean absolutely not, because tofu just takes on the flavors and the seasonings of other things. You know what I mean? If you do make it with tofu, let me know. I want to see. Hot dogs. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. Probably yes. I've definitely seen this made with salchichas, which is what Puerto Ricans call Vienna sausages. So if you told a Puerto Rican, "Oh, I made it with hot dogs," they'd be like, "Oh my god, hot dog!" Huh. But if you said, "I made it with salchichas," they'd be like, "It's literally." To me, they're basically the same. Thank you, Amanda. Hi to you too. Now, y'all remember, you can get a free copy of this book at the Sacramento Library. Free. You don't have to return it. It's yours to keep forever and ever and ever. Also, next week on March 13th, a longtime friend of mine, Joshua Fernandez, and I will be in conversation in person at the Central Library. Right, Kitty?
Yes, it'll be at our central branch.
Yeah, at the Central Branch. In our Filipino household, we would call it chop suey. Oh my gosh. What, Karen, what are the ingredients in your chop suey? Because when I made pollo guisado, which has chicken, tomato sauce, sofrito, a lot of people use carrots and potatoes. It reminds me of afritada. Mine turned out great, and I had green beans, carrots, and potatoes. Woo, carrots, nice. That sounds good. Green beans, carrots, and potatoes.
I think we'll just see if there's any final questions here for Ileana. Any other comments or anything that anybody would like to share?
Thoughts on fellow Puerto Rican legend Bad Bunny who was in Sacramento last night? He's cool. I'd like to meet him someday. Any ingredients on hand? Often meat, green beans, tomato sauce, and soy sauce, or green peas. Interesting. Me gusta.
All right, well, it's looking like, oh, one more just came in. Just wanted to thank you for showing us how to cook your way. My mom passed a few years back and I didn't get to learn the recipes.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences to you. I'm glad that you're here today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Hello from South Sac. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey.
Thanks for joining us, Kathleen. All right. Well, I think we will go ahead and wrap it up. Ileana, thank you so much for another wonderful session. This has been such a great series, having you highlight your delicious dishes. I think my favorite part is seeing how everyone can really adjust it and just make it work for them, or just add some frozen veggies or canned veggies that they have. It's just
Right.
really great seeing how everyone tonight has kind of made it their own a little bit. But just thank you so much for this. It's been so great, and we cannot wait to have you at the Central Library next Wednesday, March 13th. So we hope that everyone can join us that evening. Like Ileana said, she'll be in conversation with her colleague and friend, Josh Fernandez. So it's sure to be a great conversation, a great evening. So join us then. So I think we're going to go ahead and sign off so everyone can enjoy their delicious meal that they just made. So thank you so much. And for Ileana, myself, and the Sacramento Public Library, thank you so much and be well.
Bye.
Bye.